Javonte Green, Mr. Everything for the Detroit Pistons.
Javonte Green off to the right field.
During the offensive board, Green with the hammer.
Ivy can't hit. The left-handed dunk. What an athletic move that time.
The nickname Woo. Where did that nickname come from?
The nickname Woo came from, if you ask anybody, nobody knows, but I think it's just, a name that I got from being in the neighborhood when I was younger, just going outside and just hanging around older guys. And I just went with it, and that's what it came from.
How about your bodyguard standing right here?
This ain't my bodyguard. It's that boy Woo right here. He the man. He's part of that bench collective that came in here, changed the game for us.
Word on the street is you were a high school football star down in Virginia. Tell me about that and why you ultimately chose basketball over football.
A star, I always say I was a star. Just, just being an athlete, football was my first love, Football came, I think I started playing football probably my 6th grade year when I moved from Petersburg, Virginia to Alberta, Virginia with my aunt and uncle. I was good. All-state quarterback. I don't know. I mean, just football. It was my first love. I was excited to play football, just go out there and just be out there with my friends, my brothers. We played all sports, basketball, football, track, baseball. The best athletes played all the sports. So, just being around them year round, it was pretty cool.
I don't know proximity to where you were, but I imagine you had some influences. I mean, you got AI, who's down in Virginia, Michael Vick, Tyrod Taylor. Were those guys you looked up to as well, playing football, multiple sports?
Yeah, I mean, of course, even my high school coach, he went to the same high school I went to. He actually played 10 years in the NBA as well. And I feel like looking up to him, even though he was knowledgeable about all the sports, he was coaching, football, basketball, baseball as well. Just hanging around him and just being a sponge just to, just be the best player I can be, like, no matter what sport it is.
Here come the Pistons again. This crowd ready to explode. Green, got a three!
Down lefty, got to the lane, off to Javonte Green.
Your path to the NBA wasn't traditional. How did that journey shape you?
Yeah, I mean, 4 years overseas, year in Spain, 2 years in Italy, year in Germany, every year. I started in 3rd Division Spain. Next year, I go second division Italy, 2 years there. And then I go First League Germany, which also is Euro Cup. And just going into each season, just with quote unquote a chip on my shoulder, like a lot of teams, even like the teams that I signed to was kind of like, knew I was gonna be good, but just going out there and accepting the challenge that I was gonna be, the best player that touched the court, and every year they didn't expect me to be as good as I was, first year in Spain. I won everything that you can possibly imagine that year. MVP, best foreigner, won the championship, MVP of the championship, scoring leader. The list goes on. And then I get to Italy and they just told me, well, this is not 3rd Division Spain. And basically the same thing happened, just winning all the awards and then going back to Italy and then winning a championship there just to see, then they get promoted to, Serie A. And then I go to Germany, Euro Cup, and I'm top in Euro Cup, top of the league in 1st division. I think but that journey just taught me how to adapt to be the best player I can be, honestly. Just going out there and just putting everything on the line to get what I want.
The things you learned on that journey, I think it naturally makes you a mentor and a leader on this team right now. What's some advice you've given to the guys on this roster?
For me, being the second oldest guy on the team, like I never imagined that would be that would be a thing. But for me, I just tell the guys just to be, focused and just trust your work. This is not your first or second time playing basketball. You've been playing basketball your whole life, and you know what got you here. So just be confident in what got you here, and everything's gonna fall in line.
Was there a player that helped you become the pro you are, like a mentor or anything like that during your career?
Yeah, there's a couple guys that I looked up to. 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 Walker for sure. My first year in the NBA, he taught me a lot of things. For sure, just how to carry yourself and just always have the right mentality and just have that same energy every day. And that's not going to go unnoticed from, just being a good person.
You had some dope dunks this season. The one in Boston. You had another one here at home versus the Wizards, and a nasty tip in LA. So I think you kind of know where I'm going with this. But have you ever thought about entering the slam dunk contest?
Now, I mean, if I could reverse the clock, I would. I passed up on it probably like my first 2 years in the NBA. I passed up on it, but looking back now, I think I should have tried it. But I look at myself as like an in-game dunker rather than slam dunk contest. I actually did it in Germany, and it wasn't. It didn't go how I wanted it to go, and so I ain't gonna say I'm kind of traumatized about it, but I feel like I'm an in-game dunker rather than just going out there and just pulling out tricks.
Aber mit dem Dank durch die Beine!
Wow. You on a fast break, right? I know you got a split second before you get to the rim. How do you determine what dunk you're gonna pull out? Is it something you predetermined from warm-ups? You just got it mapped out, all right, this is the first dunk I'm gonna do. How does that work?
I think it's just a feel. I feel like every profession has that, how you go about things. I mean, even for your sake, how you coming into this interview and then just feeling the vibes, and then how you go bounce the questions off and things like that. So I just feel like for me, whatever I'm feeling in that moment, if it's the one hand, two hand, back in the day I used to do more tricks. Maybe I'll pull some out for y'all later this season if I'm feeling it.
All right, so we're gonna go a little bit off the court real quick before we wrap it up with the last question or two. When basketball isn't your focus, who's Javonte off the court?
Javonte, basketball, my focus. So I just say I was just a, pretty chill, laid back guy. Just I wanted everybody around me to be happy. Just trying to be, that guy that try to put smiles on everybody's face and make sure everybody is, feeling the joy or the vibe that I'm, that's running through my veins. So I feel like that's, just me, just being a family person, like how I was raised, just making sure everybody's is okay and everybody is, happy. My mom, obviously she didn't have everything she wanted to have, and just seeing her just come in the house with the same attitude and the same joy as, if she didn't just work 12 hours a day, I just feel like that stems from her. Dogs, bro. Come on.
What makes this team different, or what makes this locker room special to you?
Oh man, I tell people all the time, it's just you can just feel the vibe that that we genuinely just get along with each other. Everybody cares for the next person beside them, in front of them, and everybody's gonna have each other back. It's all good vibes. Just I feel like that's the main thing. You just see that the other player, your other teammate, your other brother care for you, rather than having that in the back of your mind, like, do you really care for me, or it's just like it's a front. I mean, I've been on a couple teams in my career, and you can some people have that feeling, and it's just very loud that we care about each other in this locker room, and it's very obvious, and you can tell from, obviously when we don't have, the top guys playing, and that everybody just come in and fill the role because, you know, we care for each other, and it's very loud that we do.
Last question, a question we ask everybody who comes on the show. Why do you love basketball?
I love basketball because I wouldn't say it's a getaway from, you know, quote unquote, the real life, but it's just something I can look at and just, you know, I can take a deep breath and just have fun with, you know. Everything was going on in my youth or when I was growing up, you know, I could always look at basketball to, you know, not just get my mind off it, but just ease my mind for the time being, and then just going back into facing what's going on in the real world with a clearer mind and show me how to attack certain situations in life.